Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we will see element level annotations. We will try to see the particular annotations where it is derived from using service annotation class. It is coming from the metadata file, or it is coming from the directly from the CDSU entity. Is it direct annotation, or it is derived from some data element, or it is inherited from the some other CDSU entity. Let's get started. In my previous video, we have learned about header level annotations. These are the header level annotations are there. In this video, we try to understand the element level annotations. So element level annotations means if we define some annotation for these fields, VBLN, Kunnar, or this particular item association, for these fields or for these elements, if we define the annotation, these annotations called element level annotations. So one by one, I will try to show you all the element level annotations which will be evaluated by ABAP runtime environment. Here we will not see the annotations which will be evaluated by the frameworks. So here we will see only those annotations which will be evaluated by ABAP runtime environment. Let's get started. So start with the first annotation, which we have seen one of the video, but still I will show you again that annotation. So first annotation will be the same annotation which we defined at the header level and user text level. This one was the description of this particular CDSU entity. But in this case, if I want to change the description which is coming from the VBAK table, I want to change the description. So for that, let me show you first what it is coming from the VBAK table. So basically, when we not define any description of this particular field, then this will be derived from the annotations will be derived from the data element level. So we have already discussed about what is the derived annotation, what is inherited annotations, what is the CDS entity specific annotations. This we have discussed when we discussed these two annotation, ignore propagate annotation and the object model annotation, one of the video. The link is there. You can see what is all are the types of the annotations are there. So for understanding that, I have to call this particular CDS view entity in my one of the report, and I have to show you the description how it is displaying first. So for that, what I will do, I have already created this program from the previous video. I will not use this time select query and display. If I try to display like this, let me make it let me simplify this one. Instead of consuming this field select all, and if I do the control F3 and I try to do F9, then what will be displayed? Let me show you. So you can see SO and Kunnar. Where it is coming from? It is coming from the this field and this field. But here, there we can't see the field description. To see the field description, we have to call either instead of displaying using the CL demo output, we have to display using the salvo method. So I will try to display using the salvo LV. We have LV on HANA that we will discuss in our upcoming video. Let me give you some demo. So for that, CL salvo underscore GUI underscore GUI underscore table IDA. This is the first class which we used for the ALV on HANA. So for this class, I will call the method control space. I will do this. I will call for the create for the CDS view, but because I'm using the CDS view, shift and enter. I will do the entire class will be this method will be called. This is static method. So we can pass here CDSU name and we can display this particular ALV. So for passing CDSU name, what you have to do, you have to give your CDSU name, control C, control V, and these other things are not required. I created one instance. Either I can get this instance and work on this because it is returning here, this receiving this particular instance of the particular class. I don't want to receive, I can use either, I can use like this, or what I can do, whatever the instance, as soon as I will get, I will display in the full screen mode, shift enter, and in full screen mode I will try to display. So I will call again display method of this, control displays shift. So what it will do, it will get the all the data from this particular CDS, and it will display in ALV form full screen, and it will be displayed. So this is the again IDA Salve IDA we call. We have the Salve ALV in our older ABAP, and ABAP on HANA we should use Salve IDA if you are displaying the data, because it will get those data only which is displayed on the screen. When we do scroll bar or sorting, grouping, anything, that time it will go to database and fetch data, and then it will be displayed. So in this case, we will be having, we will work like this. Our database work as much as possible. We will see this Salve LVA in some other video. So just display the result. Control F3. Let me do F8 over here. So as soon as I display, what it will be displayed, only two fields will be displayed, sales order and Kunnar, but this time we will get the field description derived from the annotations. That also I will show you how it is deriving. So you can see this sold to and sales document. This time we are not getting this SO and Kunnar. This time we are getting this particular two things. One is the sales document, another is the sold to party. So we are getting, now I want to change, instead of sold to party, I want to give the name is a customer. So how I can give? So that is my requirement. Or if you are displaying same data in the front end or Fiori application, there also I can, if I am consuming some CDS view in the Fiori application, there also I want to change this particular description. So how we can do this thing? So first thing is, we have, this is the first element level description. We can change the description of that particular field. So just I want to change the sold to party to customer. For that, what I have to do is @ I have to use, and this time semantics, I have to use semantics dot, not semantics, sorry, end user text label. This is the end user text label. This is the same end user. I can do shift enter. It will give me all the annotation related to end user text label. Or either I can give the annotation this way, or I can give the annotation control C, control V dot label. This is both way I can give label, and I can define the label after the colon field. Like that also I can give, or this is the another way I can define both the annotation together. So first we will do this way, label. So I want to give this Kunnar as a customer, and let me activate this one, control F3, and let me execute this program again, once again, to see how it is displaying. Let me do F8. So you can see this time it got displayed, instead of sold to party, it got displayed customer. So, but if I go hover on this particular column, then it is telling it is sold to party. I should tell this is not sold to party, this should be customer, or customer something, some other name. So I can change this particular tooltip also. For changing tooltip, again I have to use same. I want to copy this line. To copy any line, control alt arrow down button, it will copy entire line, and I will use this time, instead of label, I will use the quick info, and I can give the quick info inside the column. What the quick info I want to give? Customer. To change little bit, I can give customer info. One more thing, there is some limitation in the, when we are giving the label name, some characters are there that I will show you how many character exactly, that only we can display. And the more than that character, if you try to give this label, it will not accept. But the quick info we can have in the string form. Let me activate this one, control F3, and let me execute again, F8. So you can see this is customer info, and now I am hovering about the customer field, then it is showing customer instead of showing the sold to. We can change the tooltip as well. One more thing, apart from these two things, if you try to enlarge little bit, you can see that it got changed to sold to party. Where it is coming from? If I want to see, if I do little bit this one, then it is coming customer, but when I'm increasing the size, it is changing to sold to party. So it is coming from basically the our data element, where we have defined the minimum text, heading, and everything we have defined. From there it is coming. To get annotation related to one particular CDS, what all are the annotation it is used and where it is derived from, what we can do, we can use this class CL underscore DD underscore DDL underscore service, or something called annotation service. This is the class CL underscore DD underscore DDL underscore annotation service class. We have to use this class, and we have to call the method called get annotation. Shift enter. Using this annotation, what we can do, using this class, what we can do, we can pass this particular CDS entity, and where we can get all the annotations related to this particular CDS, where it is coming from. So for that, what we have to do, just pass this one, Control C, entity name I want to pass. This is the entity I am using. I want to get the annotations, entity annotation, which we have used. Let me import these two fields, Control Shift greater than, and we have to use some data. I will do the inline declaration ls annotation, and second inline declaration, what I will do, data. This time I want to get ls underscore illy underscore annotations. So I want to get, in this case, let me comment out this one. This is not required as of now. I will uncomment when it is required. I just want to show you that how the quick info and customer was displayed. In this case, I want to show you guys that how we can, what all are the annotation got access, that thing I want to show you. So this is the class, and this is the method, and you have to pass the CDS entity name, or I can say DDL source name specifically, and we can get the what all are the annotation, header annotation we have used, and what all are the element annotation we have used, that we will get. Let me display out. This time I will use this one, Control C, Control V, and I will write it down instead of displaying, write. And first I will do Control C, Control V, Control Alt arrow down button, and next time I will display, and I will display this element info as well. Control C, Control V, Shift F1. So you can see we are displaying. So this is the basically this class we are calling, and we are getting the annotation for this particular CDS entity, or we can say DDL source, and we are getting all the annotation related to this particular CDS entity. Let me do F9. Let me do Control F3, and let me do F9. Okay, I did F8. Let me do F9. Sorry, because we used the CL demo class, it will be easy to display. Let me clear out the console if something is existing. Let me do again F9. F9. So you can see we got this data. So if you enlarge little bit this one, we will see all the detail of this particular. So first we got all the header annotations which we have used in our this DDL show entity. What all are the things we have used? Let me show you parallelly, or it will be better. So you can see the first annotation we have used the enhancement category. You can see the enhancement authority check. Then we have used the label, ignore propagate, and this all the header annotation we got through this particular this ls annotation, entity annotation. And second annotation, the second list is the element level informations. So element level, what all are the elements? For the first element, it's a mandate by default, and second and third you can see the customer number of where it is coming from. If you go a little bit right side and see where it is coming from, let me enlarge little bit this one. So you can see kunnar and the kunnar we have given explicitly the label and quick info both. In the source object is this one. From the CDS itself it is coming. And what all are the first, as I told you in my previous video, one of the how the this annotations are evaluated. First, metadata extension file. Second, the entity based which is defined in the particular CDS entity. And third, annotation which is derived. So derived from the VBAK table. A derived and inherited annotation, at last it will be evaluated. So in this case we don't have any metadata file, so there is no metadata related annotations. So we have entity which the annotation which we have defined in the file. So we have defined two annotations. So you can see, first it will be derived. If there is no information, then it will go further. So you can see label and quick info for Kunnar coming here, and for sales order, quick info, label and heading, all the things coming from the VBLN. Means it is coming from basically data element VBLN underscore VBA. But we didn't define for the Kunnar, we didn't define any heading annotation. We don't have any heading annotation for the Kunnar. That is the reason SAP took this heading annotation from the data element Kunnag. So from where it is coming from, that this particular, as I told you, let me go again here little bit. If I show you this one, there is two things. One is the, if I do little bit here, it is showing customer is coming from the CDS entity. But if you increase little bit here, it is coming from the data element and heading. Since the annotation and user, this particular heading and user text heading is derived from the data element. So that is the, like, it is annotations are coming. I just want to show you, if you want to see where it is exactly these annotations are coming from, you can use this class. Let me put back on the place. Apart from displaying this particular end user text label and end user quick info in the English language or whichever the language we are working on, I want to display in some other language as well. What I mean by other language, if user logs in the German language, then text should be displayed in the German language. If user logs in the Chinese language, then text should be displayed in the Chinese language. For that, what I have to do, I have to maintain this text in the different language as well. So as I told you, all the annotations will be saved in the system table. Specifically, this end user text and end user text label and quick info, for these kind of annotations, we have one extra column in those tables, language as well, where we can maintain this text in the different languages. But how to do that? For doing that, what we can do, we can maintain this particular information in different languages as well. So if you know already how to maintain the text in the different languages for the smartphone, then it will be very easy for you guys. So you have to open the SE63T code, Alt F8. This is very famous interview question as well. Some guys are asked how to do the smartphone text translations. So in this, we can use again SE63 to maintain this text in other languages as well. So you have to click on show text, and we have something called user interface text. Inside this, we have CDS based something, DDLS CDS view text are there, which we can maintain here. But one more important thing, here we have to pass the DDL source name, not the CDS view entity name. What I mean by DDL source name, whatever we are displayed here, DDL source name, these are the DDL source name, or whatever we use after define your entity, or I can say in case of the DDIC based source view, after define view, this is CDS view entity. We have to use DDL source name. In case of define view entity, both the names are similar, 04 and 04. But in case of the DDIC based views, where we have to give the SQL view name, in this case, this name can be different. As you can see now that in the defined view, we are using GCDS sample 01, but this data definition name is different, GDDLS sample 01. So we have to use this DDL source name. This is called DDL source, and this is called the CDS entity name. These both are the CDS entity name. So whenever we are converting the text, we have to use this particular, not this one, define entity. We have to use the DDL source name. In this case, both are similar, so I can use, not a problem. But for the DDIC based view, we have the different name, so you have to make sure. If I try to give this name and I try to find out for this, then it will give me error or something. I think so it will not accept. Control V, and if I try to click on edit button, so you are getting object not found. But in this case, if I try to give this name, Control C and Control V, and if I try to click on edit, original text length text can be overwritten. Are you sure? Oh, no, actually I want to convert from the English to the German language. So you can see now I can click on edit. This is accepting. I can maintain here my text in which language I want to display. Based on that, if user logs in different language, it will be displayed and differently for the different user if they are logging in different languages. One more thing, not only we have to maintain this text here, like we do in smartphone, we have to capture this text. If we want to move from one system to another system, we have to capture this, all the changes in the TR. There is one T code is there. I forgot actually the T code name. If you know, write it down in comment section, that will be better. So that is the T code where we have to execute the T code. We have to select whatever we have made the changes, and we have to capture those changes. Then we can move the changes in the another system. It will be not captured here automatically when we do maintain here. That's the one thing. Next, let's move to the another annotation. So another annotation, apart from the end user text and end user quick info, we have some annotation to link between the amount and the currency, or we can say the quantity and unit of measure. These are the fields are there. We have to link. If you remember, or if you know already, from whenever we create any DDIC table in SE11, or you create here as well, when we give some amount field and we will not link with any currency field, it will give us error, and we try to activate, it will give us error to link this amount field with any currency field. That's a very important thing. So same thing we will do here. So it will work differently little bit in the defined view entity and DDIC based view. So I will show you both the places. So in the defined view entity, as soon as we access any amount field, so if I try to access net viewer, which we have already seen in my last video as well, as soon as I try to access this amount field, it will tell us that reference information is missing for the data type. Because if you see that what is the data type for this particular net viewer, I do F2 and I will see this is the currency data type. For this currency data type, we should maintain what is the currency for this particular amount. So that is the reason we are getting error. For that, we have to use some currency field. In this case, I know already WAERK is the currency field. So I can tell that what is the currency. For giving the currency field, you have to use annotation @semantics.amount. So semantics.amount currency code. So what is the currency code? You have to give this currency code. Control C. System already know which is the field is currency in this case, and error got removed. In this case, we are not getting any error, but still we have to link this currency and amount field. For linking, in this case, we have to give both the annotations. So first annotation, same annotation we have to give this amount field, same is, but we have to give apart from this one more annotation to tell the system this is the currency field. So for that, I have to use @semantics again. semantics dot, and I have to tell this is the currency code, something is there, currency code equal to true. In this case I have to give here, but if I try to maintain this particular currency code, control C, in the DDIC based view, it will give me one error like that this particular annotations is not allowed in view entities. This is allowed in DDIC based CDS view, but it is not allowed in view entities, because SAP thought these are the newer version of the DDIC based view. As I told you in my previous video, SAP thought why we have to tell that we have to explicitly define this is the currency field. From the, if you do F2 from here, from the data element itself we know this is the currency field. So we no need to explicitly define here, but in this case in the DDIC base view we have to define that this is the currency field, and for this currency field what is the amount field. That's a very important. The same goes with the quantity and the unit of measure as well. So to access the quantity I have to access the line item data as well. Item dot posener, let me access posener, and apart from posener, control space item dot KWMENG is the field for the quantity. As soon as I access the quantity field, again system gives me error like that. What is the error? This particular reference information is missing for the data type. Since SAP compiled and SAP knows already this is the quantity field, for this quantity field there should be some unit of measure field which is not defined in this particular CDS. So we have to define that one as well. For that we have to give underscore item dot, and the field should be V something, some field is there, I forgot actually, VZ type, VB, let me see in the VBAP table itself. We have already VRKME, this is the field. So you can see in the for this quantity field what is the unit of measure, VRKME. Control C, this we have to define here. Control V, that's correct. But that is not enough. We have to tell the system what is the quantity field, @semantics dot this time quantity unit of measure is equal to VRKME. Like that we have to tell the system, then automatically error got removed. In the same way, if you want to define here as well, the same things we have to do here as well. Control C, let me copy paste. But in this case we have to do additional one thing. We have to tell the system this is the unit of unit of measure field, correct, @semantics dot unit of measure, there should be something, shift enter. So we have to tell this is the unit of measure field for this particular quantity field, shift F1. But if I try to use again the same thing, this particular annotation in CDS view entities, it will not work because it's not supported by the SAP in the newer version of the CDS view entities, because they already know based on this particular data element, this is unit of measure data element, they already know this is the unit of measure. So we no need to define explicitly unit of measure. So basically these are the semantic, these are the four annotations. One is the currency code, amount currency code, unit of measurement, and quantity unit of measurement. This is giving the relationship between the amount and currency and quantity and unit of measurement. In this video we have learned about the element level annotations which will be evaluated by ABAP runtime environment. Apart from that, not only we have seen this element level annotations, apart from that we have seen how to maintain the text label and text quick info in different languages for displaying for the different user which logged in different languages. We have also seen that how to see all the annotations which is derived in from the data element or it is coming direct annotation from directly from the CDSU entity, or if it is coming from the metadata extension file, how we can see using the service annotation class. So this is for this video. In my next video, we will try to understand the special functions given by SAP for converting the unit conversion and an amount conversion. Those things we will see in my next video. Before going to that video, please like this video, subscribe this channel, and share these videos with others as well. Thank you and happy learning.